Hey, what it do, sports world? It's me again. The Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs, is here, y'all. Where passion meets performance and champions are made. I'm your host, Ray Diggs, bringing you the energy, the insight, and the mindset from across the world of sports. From the locker rooms to the big stage, this is where the real ones talk and legends rise, and the motto stays the same. Winners will always win. The Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs. We are here and we ain't going nowhere. Make sure y'all tune in because we're about to go live now. Peace. Hey, what it do, world, and welcome to the Winner Circle podcast, man. Hey, listen, I want to talk about the team takeover. I got to know what the title says, Chicago team takeover. But it's not just Chicago. It's a lot of places. You got New York, you got Los Angeles, Philadelphia. You got a lot of these main cities that's having an issue right here, which is called team takeover. I never heard of it. But I'm gonna explain why I think the parents should be held more accountable. But hey, before I get started, make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and also the share button, and make sure y'all give me your feedback on what you all think. It's 4 things I want to talk about when I'm talking about team takeovers. Okay, first of all, Chicago, Philadelphia, New York, and Los Angeles, and other major cities have seen a major group of teenagers gathering downtown areas, shutting down streets, fighting, vandalizing properties, and sometimes committing violent crimes. I seen this morning, and it might have been in it might have been in Tampa, Florida, or somewhere in Florida, where they pretty much was shooting at kids. You know, the kids walking across the street. Next thing you know, a guy pulled out a gun and just started shooting at them. This right here is a part of the team takeover. So when I look at this right here and what is the long effect on these team takeovers in our community, I can tell y'all this right now. They are tired of this. These businesses are so damn sick of these kids, team takeovers. Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I seen the other night, right? I'm sitting up in here, I'm sitting here looking at kids running on top of people's cars. I'm talking about running over everybody. I'm talking about a slew of kids. They just got on top of people's cars and just running on top of them. One guy stood out there and made sure that they didn't jump on his car. First, the number one thing I want to talk about right now is let's talk about public safety of this thing. Okay. When hundreds of teenagers are flooding the areas and law enforcement can't immediately control the situation, innocent people become victims. Business have to close early. Families avoid downtown areas. The residents begin to feel unsafe in their own communities. That's what's going on right now in Chicago. Businesses are closing early. Businesses saying they don't even want to be there no more because they're so scared of these team takeovers. The police, they're undermanned. They cannot control these team takeovers. They just don't have the manpower, especially in major cities like Chicago, because Chicago have a very incompetent mayor in Mayor Brandon Johnson. Because this dude right here, and I'm not talking about something that I heard. I'm talking about something that I've looked into for a while now. This is one of the most incompetent mayors in any major city. Is Chicago's mayor. I promise y'all. Just go and do a little bit of research on him. The things that he say makes absolutely no sense. Guess who we named for the team takeovers? This man got on TV last week and said, I'm going to blame social media. I said, Brandon Johnson, so how in the hell is it social media? Probably. But you can't arrest social media. Who are you going to go? You're going to Mark Zuckerberg? Who are you going to go arrest? You're going to go a TikTok guy? Who are you going to go arrest? You can't arrest the social media. No, it's the kids. That's who you have to blame. And not one time did he blame the kids. He blamed social media. He blamed the parents. He blamed the police. He blamed everybody except the people that's out here actually commit these crimes. And then secondly, you're losing a lot of money because nobody wants to go to Chicago right now. Nobody wants to go downtown Chicago because they're so scared. They're fearing for their safety of these team takeovers. So you're losing money for the city. Same thing with Los Angeles. Same thing with Philadelphia, New York. All of these major cities are losing so much money because of these teen takeovers. Second, that's what I was going to next. There is an economic impact. Businesses losing customers, property getting damaged, cities spending millions of taxpayer dollars on overtime, repairs, and increased security, which we know Brandon Johnson got the best of the security. And also, small business owners are often the ones that suffer the most. So this, and let's just, I don't want to bring race into it. I don't. The only place that I've ever seen, the only place that I've seen that I turned on the TV that I seen other races doing this right here, it was LA. LA, yes, but New York, Chicago, it's the majority of the black community that's doing this right here. And I ain't trying to throw races out here, but that's what we see. We see it. The only way you don't see it is be blind, and you can. But that is exactly who's doing this right here. And if normally who's running small businesses? It's normally the black community that got the small businesses. So you're hurting the black community, small businesses, because you want to, oh yeah, we're going to do a team takeover. And I'm going to tell y'all how this started. And I said this right here when it first started, but people didn't want to listen. A lot of people said it and nobody wanted to listen. I said it's going to start. It started with the walkouts. When they started with the walkouts, that's why I said they started something. But the school was okay with this. The school was okay with allowing kids to just walk out because they was unhappy about something. And then now we got the teen takeover. Because think about it. If you let me walk out of school, why not just take over the whole city? Because that's exactly what's going to come next. But the schools and all these administrative people was okay with them. Oh no, the politicians. See, the politicians didn't see no problem in these kids walking out of school. Now they see these takeovers. They don't give a damn. It ain't in their neighborhoods. And they don't see none of these teen takeovers. They don't see that as a problem. It ain't their neighborhood that's being vandalized. Most of them is always out of town, so they don't even go downtown to some of these major cities. They have an area where they go to, and when these teen takeovers started affecting that area, then they're going to say something. Then they're going to do something. But until then, they can care less about what these teen takeovers are doing. And that is the problem. But the problem started with the walkouts. It started with the walkouts. The walkouts started, and then next thing you know, they say, you know what? We can take over if we really wanted to, because we don't have the police presence. They don't have the manpower. We're outnumbering the police probably 5-10 to 1, maybe even more than that. So why not go and take over? And that is exactly what they're doing with these teen takeovers. Third, I want to discuss accountability. While the teenagers are responsible for their actions, parents must also be involved. Parents are the first teachers. Parents are the number one teachers because you teach them from home. Knowing where your kids are, who they're with, and what they're doing remains one of the most important responsibilities of parenting. Parents have to be held accountable. I think, this is my opinion, and I thought about this long and hard. I think if they start arresting these parents, start charging these parents with the crimes that their kids are doing, I bet you any kind of money they'll find out where their kids are at. And I'm going to say this right here also. Some parents, they just can't do nothing with their kids. Their kids are so far gone. So we can arrest them. We can charge them. We can fine them. It really don't matter because their kids are so far gone. It doesn't make any, it don't matter. So I won't say for all the parents, but for the majority of the parents, you need to know where your kids are at. And if you don't know where your kids are at, and if then he's used or she's using this address, we're going to come and we're arrest you. We're going to charge you. We're going to find you for breaking these windows and kicking in these doors and throwing bricks in these car windows. We're going to charge you for this. We're going to make sure that you pay these people. And I bet you any kind of money, they're going to find out. They'll figure out a way how to get these kids in the asses in this house. But that is the number one thing. It got to start with the parents. It has to start with the parents at home. Because if you allowing your kids out here to do dumb shit, then this right here is what happens. And then the fourth, law enforcement. They're being stressed in, man. A lot of these law enforcement, many police departments are already dealing with short staff shortage, mandatory overtime, increased demand. and officers are being asked to handle larger crowd with fewer resources. That's the number one thing. Law enforcement, man. Law enforcement, I feel so bad for them. And this right here, why I'm always saying, man, being a police officer is one of the hardest jobs in the world because you can't win for losing. Because I'm gonna just say this right here. Let's just say you see what the team takeover is doing to the community, right? Now, if the police is out here doing their job, grabbing one of the teens, slamming them on the ground, guess what social media is gonna say? Oh my God, I can't believe that he gonna grab this teenager and slam him on the ground. Now he's a teenager. Got his ass out here busting people windows and looting and all this craziness. But then when you held accountable, the social media is the one that say, oh, no, don't do that. That's just a teenager. And that's the problem right there. I understand. I bear with y'all police officers because I know y'all in a no-win situation. And it's sad because if you're doing your job, yes, you can possibly get hurt. And when you're not doing your job, they're going to criticize you. So if you let them do what they want to do, y'all being criticized. You see what's happening right now. But if you sit there and you grab one of them the back of that shirt and snag them up and they catch it on camera, guess what they're going to do? CNN and all these major networks is going to say, oh my God, yes, the police was out in full force today. And as we got video obtained by a person with a camera, you can see police officer Fujo over here grabbing the kid by the back of his shirt, slamming him to the ground, not knowing that this kid right here just threw a damn fireball into one of the stores and set the damn stores on fire, or threw a brick in this window over here. But that is what the news is going to report right there. So I understand why the police officers are being very, very careful because they already going through enough scrutiny. So they understand that, you know what, we already threading on sliding on thin ice. So I understand and I respect that. But see, the biggest concern is, however, the future of these young people. Many teenagers involved in these events may believe they're just having fun. But the one bad decision can lead to criminal charges, injuries, or even a loss of a life. The moment poor judgment can change a young person's life. It's a moment of poor judgment can change a young person's future forever. That's what I hope these kids are understanding. Yes, you're out there having fun. You're out here just, we're just trying to take over the streets and we're just doing this right here because nobody's listening to us. But you got to understand that this right here can be a lifetime of consequences. Because let's just say you out here having fun and then somebody end up getting hurt. Somebody end up dying. Then you just ruined your life. Just like I just said in the Carmelo Anthony trial. Do y'all think he went to the track meet to stab somebody? I don't think so. He took a knife there, but when you take out that knife, it's consequences. And that is exactly what's happening over here in these teen takeovers. Then I hope they understand that. Because let's just say, and not saying that it is, but I mean, it could be kids that's getting ready to go to Yale or kids that's getting ready to go to Harvard or one of these big universities that get caught up in this teen takeover just because they wanted to have fun and they just say, oh, damn, I lost my scholarship. Why you lose your scholarship? Oh yeah, I was out here doing in participating in the teen takeover. Damn, you lost your scholarship because you wanted to go out here and participate in a teen takeover. That's right there what I mean when I say that it can affect the rest of your life. Or you out here having fun, and then next thing you know, one of your friends die, or one of your, or somebody else died. And then they come and they want to charge you with manslaughter, or they want to charge you with murder or some things like that. So you got to understand, this is a very, very slippery, slopey thing that these kids are doing. But the parents have to get involved. The parents got to get involved. But also in some of these major cities like Chicago, the mayor also have to get involved. Because the mayor, I don't know if y'all know that the mayor, right, in Chicago has a police escort of about 10 to 15 police officers. So you telling me you need 10 to 15 police officers for your own personal escort. You can put at least 10 of those police officers out there on the streets and have them patrolling the streets and cleaning up your streets of Chicago. But no, Brandon Johnson is not going to do that because that's just too much like right. And that's what Brandon Johnson don't know anything about. And that's right. Like I said, I don't want to criticize the man, but he might be one of the worst mayors that I've seen in my lifetime. And honestly, that's the reason why Chicago is about to get ready to lose the Chicago Bears, because Brandon Johnson is an incompetent mayor. And like I said, the solution isn't simple. It requires a stronger community involvement, engaged parents, youth program, mentorship, accountability, and effective law enforcement strategies working together. That's exactly what they need. Now, they might need something for them to, hey, let's get some youth programs, some mentorship programs. But let me ask y'all this question right here. Just because you have those programs, do y'all think that the kids are going to be interested in this? Do y'all think the kids are going to be interested in listening to me sit here and tell them on how to be successful? It might be some of them, but the majority of them really don't give a damn about listening to nobody. Like, let's just be honest, man. A lot of kids don't care to listen to somebody tell them on how to be successful nowadays. Me, when you start talking, I'm listening. I got these antennas out. You see, I got these antennas out. I want to hear, because I'm going to take what you say, a lot of what you say, and I'm going to put it to work on how I can be successful. See, a lot of kids nowadays, man, they want to be cool. I was sitting there the other day on Instagram, sitting there going back and forth with a dude because he said, guess what? You don't get no likes on Instagram. I said, listen, I got a good job. I can care less whether a person like my status. That shit don't mean a damn thing to me, because I don't get paid. I don't even do YouTubing. I don't even do none of this for money. Most people do this for money. I make good money at my job. 2 jobs. I make good money at those jobs. And I said, listen, I'm in the military, so I can't say what I really want to say. But when I retire, I can, though. And I said, that's right there when I'll probably start making all my money, because I'm going to tell y'all the God honest truth. See, right now, I got to keep it rated PG, not even PG-13, just regular PG. But when you can speak out and say what you want to say to tell people the truth, it might get a little rated R. But hey, like I said before, man, I just don't know what's going on with these team takeovers. But I also think that it started with the walking out of schools, and now we've evolved into this. And I don't know where it's going to go next. But some of these major cities need to call and maybe get the National Guard to come in and help the law enforcement. You know, that's what they're for. You got your own National Guard in every state. Bring some of them in and help you out. You know, help law enforcement out. Maybe call a couple of FBI agents. Call them to assist you all. But I don't think the police should do this by themselves, because this is a very dangerous job, especially dealing with 500-600 teenagers that's running the street wild. But hey, man, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. And thank y'all again for listening to the Winner Circle podcast. I'm about to get ready and get back to you again. Another segment is coming back to back. But now we're about to get ready and start talking about sports, so make sure y'all tune in for that as well. Until next time, man, thank y'all again for listening to the Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs. Peace.
Mr. Diggs, we're on in 5. Vegas can't be choosers, but grandma chose grace. She raised me on scraps.